Hello and welcome to our reviews. Today we're reviewing the Marvel Legends Ultimate Green Goblin series, Toxin. So yes, here we have Toxin. Originally I wasn't going to pick Toxin up, but I saw him and therefore I had to buy him, I guess. He's probably one of the most complained about figures from this series, and he's not as good as he could be. However, I think he's at least a decent figure. He does, of course, come with a piece of Green Goblin. And he's okay. Let's go ahead and zoom in for the articulation, scope pay details, all those sorts of things. Alright, start with a quick size comparison. Here, of course, we have Toxin. Here's 3 3/4 inch Marvel Universal Wolverine. Here's the standard 6-inch size Superior Spider-Man. And then there's Marvel Select Venom, because Venom and Toxin are kind of similar, and they are both Eddie Brock in this particular instance. Toxin is on the Sentry/Hyperion body, so he is a bit bigger than your average Marvel Legend, which works out well. I kind of wish they would take this body and use these same arms and make a new Marvel Legends Venom, maybe change the feet out, but other than that I think it would work fairly well. And we need a new Marvel Legends Venom, because there really isn't a particularly good one in my opinion. Anyway, let's get the other things out of here and just look at Toxin. Alright, moving on our 360 spin, here we have Toxin. His paint scheme is a bit strange, and it's one of the complaints I have about him. I kind of see what they were going for. His chest is that sort of very shiny candy apple red, and then his arms and legs have a little bit of it, like on the shoulders and stuff, but they're mostly a very dark, sort of crimson red, and it just doesn't really look right. If it was executed well, it probably would have looked pretty cool, but I don't know, it just looks really weird for the most part. Another thing about the chest is that I believe this particular version of Toxin is supposed to have the big black spider symbol on his chest, or at least he's had it in some artwork that I've looked at, so don't know why that's not there. Bit of a complaint as well. His arms have that sort of spiky sculpting stuff there on the elbows, and then he's got the big sort of hands like Carnage does. This is on the Sentry body, so the legs are pretty plain and muscly. His feet are kind of like boots. They do have a little edge around the bottom of them, but it's not terribly noticeable the way they did it. He also has that big set of tendrils on his back, which are just plugged into a hole in his back. I believe it's the exact same piece they used for Carnage. Anyway, let's go ahead and zoom in on the head sculpt really quick. Zooming in on the head sculpt, and this is one of the main complaints about this figure for a lot of people, and I don't entirely disagree. However, it's really not that different from the artwork I've seen of this particular version of Toxin. The main differences are that they just made his teeth a lot thicker, and they do give him sort of a more buck-teethy look, even though his front fangs are longer in the artwork I've seen. They're just too thick, I guess, is the main problem. Apart from that, the head really looks fine. The sculpting is good. They just made the teeth look a bit weird, and it just ruins the entire thing almost. There's a pretty good bit of paint variety on the head. I like the eye work. The little black parts look really cool. I like the tongue inside is green. It's got a bit of shading. And really, the head sculpt does not look bad apart from the teeth, in my opinion. Anyway, let's go ahead and zoom out and look at some articulation. Articulation-wise, Toxin is pretty standard for Marvel Legends nowadays, which means he is pretty decent. Got a disc head, goes up and down, side to side, all joint shoulders, in and out, forward and back, bicep cut, double joint elbows, wrist cut and hinge, abdominal joint, waist cut, all joint hips, in and out, forward and back, upper thigh cut, double joint knees, calf cut, hinge, pivot in the ankles, and then also you can rotate his little tendrils on his back, which are also removable. So, yeah, perfectly acceptable articulation. Toxin does not really come with any accessories apart from his removable tendrils, but he, of course, does come with pieces of Green Goblin, so let's go ahead and look at those. Here are his pieces of Green Goblin. He comes with the head, which would attach to the ball peg for the neck, and then these back flames, which you just sort of attach to Green Goblin's back. If you're curious about Green Goblin, there is a review on my channel somewhere if you want to go find that. So, yeah, that wraps it up for Toxin and all of his accessories. Let's move on to the packaging. Toxin, of course, comes in the new standard for Marvel Legends, Build-A-Figure Collection Green Goblin, Spider-Man, Marvel Legends Spawn of Symbiotes down there at the bottom. On the back, you get a picture of Carnage and Toxin, as well as the other figures in this wave down there at the bottom, which are Carnage, Toxin, Electro, Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Girl, Black Cat, Beetle and Boomerang, and Superior Spider-Man, as well as the Build-A-Figure Green Goblin. I have reviewed everything except for Spider-Girl. I don't intend to get Spider-Girl, but if I do, I will review her. As always, these are good for in or out of package displays, so yeah. Toxin. Alright, that wraps it up for Toxin, so until next time, goodbye! Hello, you've just watched one of my videos. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed my videos. If you didn't, run away and never return. Also, feel free to check out my other channels, Venom Raptor for all my variety gaming content, and VR Reviews for reviews of various action figures and collectibles. Thank you, and goodbye.